2024 could be a horrible year for the silver price and gold price. If the Fed continues with their hawkish, aggressive monetary policy, who knows how low the prices could go. The silver price and gold price have been getting absolutely clobbered. You may be wondering, what the heck is going on? What are the reasons behind this occurrence? And will 2024 wind up being a year where we do see major declines in the price of silver, gold, and the precious metals mining stocks? We're going to talk about what's going on and what the outlook remains for the rest of 2024. Thank you for joining me here in the basement. Basement dwellers, you've been put through the mill to start out 2024. I know it's difficult. I feel it. I understand. Whether you're invested in physical silver, gold, or the precious metal mining stocks, this has been a start to the year that none of us really expected to be this severe. We had talked about the possibility of a slight drawdown in the silver price and gold price, but this recent activity has exceeded all of our expectations. And what's the excuse that they're giving us? What's the reason? The big overwhelming power that's pushing down the silver price and gold price? Well, it's this sudden repivot back to more hawkish tone from the world central banks. It's not just the United States. It's all over the world. The United Kingdom, the EU, and even here in the United States, where in mid-December we had a very dovish message from Jerome Powell that helped support the precious metals prices. But recently we're hearing from all the Fed governors, and it's a bunch of hawkish squawk. Now, can this hold up throughout the year? Can the world central banks actually raise rates? That brings up a very interesting question. Do you ever get the feeling that we're living in a magic, make-believe, funny money world? Well, if you still believe in real silver, real gold, real platinum, please check out our channel sponsor, Pimbex, Pimbex.com. If you do, if you dig in, what you'll learn is they have the best prices, the best service, and a great selection. I think Pimbex is best. I think you will too. Make sure next time you're shopping online bullion dealers for metal, consider checking out Pimbex. I think you'll find what I found. They check all the boxes. 2024 could be a horrible year for the silver price and gold price. If the Fed continues with their hawkish, aggressive monetary policy, who knows how low the prices could go? But I have a question for you. Do you think the Fed can really continue with this higher for longer rhetoric? I'll ask you a question. Do you think the banks can sustain higher rates for much longer? Do you think businesses, corporations, many of which are considered zombies, right? They can't even survive in a higher interest rate environment. Do you think the corporate world can survive paying much higher interest expenses? And what about us? What about the consumer? We know there's a record level of credit card debt. We know people have no savings. Can the consumer survive much longer in a higher interest rate environment? And remember, that's the environment that's needed to keep this downward pressure on the price of the metals. I would go as far as to say it's all a bunch of funny money. It's all a bunch of make-believe. And at the end of the day, no, the banks, the consumers, what about our government with their $34 trillion debt? None of them can be sustained in this higher interest rate environments. Now, they're going to throw up all kinds of new programs, new ways to describe what they're doing. But at the end of the day, no matter what moves the Fed has to make from a monetary perspective environment, with interest rates, with monetary policy, with M2 money supply, with any of it, no matter how you slice it or dice it, the rust always eats through whatever spray paint they spray on things temporarily to make it look good. The silver price and gold price will go much higher in real terms, real value, the value of an ounce of silver, the value of an ounce of gold will go up. Does thinking about this make you feel a little crazy and confused? That's because it is crazy and confusing. And if we broaden our scope just a little bit outside of the craziness in the United States and look at things on a worldwide basis, it gets even more concerning. We'll look at just one component of what's going on, the world at war, and the implications that that has on the world economy. Do you know that Germany, the fourth largest economy in the world, is now officially in a recession? Their economy is contracting. A big reason why is because of energy cost. They had relied on cheap Russian gas, and now that we have war in Europe, just that one example can show you how the world not getting along can have major economic implications. Do you think the Germans are going to want higher interest rates when their economy is in recession? And that's something that's going to be faced by the whole world. Once the real impact of what's going on right now on our planet is felt, right? All this conflict, all this debt that's piled up, once it all feeds through the system, we're going to be in a situation where vast amounts of liquidity, lower interest rates are necessary just to keep the system alive. And at the end of the day, right, when everything rises to the top, what you're going to find are your silver and gold. Fortuna Silver Mines is a global intermediate gold and silver producer. Since 2005, Fortuna's best-in-class management has delivered impressive growth and profits. Fortuna's solid financial position and operational expertise allows for performance in any precious metals price cycle and provides a foundation from which to harvest great profits in more favorable metals markets. Investing in Fortuna is an investment in quality, long-term, sustainable production of in-demand precious and base metals. And while the recent price action in silver and gold have been extremely frustrating, if we come back to the United States, we see a balance sheet that shows $34 trillion in debt that mathematically can never be paid off. We're facing an environment socially, politically, in this country as we move through 2024 that could prove to be a powder keg. None of us want anything bad to happen, but it doesn't take much to read what's going on politically, socially in this country to see that we are headed for some challenging times. What do you think when you look right now at the world? When you look domestically at the United States, do you think 2024 will prove to be a year where we see major change? Or will it turn out to be just a nothing burger? Somehow the powers that be are able to perpetuate the system, the funny money environment that we live in right now? Or will it be a year where we face some major challenges, where people like you, like me, that have invested in precious metals are proven to be correct in our thesis in that precious metals will protect us under any environment, no matter how things pan out? We do know one thing for sure. It's done that for thousands and thousands of years. And when I look at the current environment, the ability of precious metals to protect and maybe even increase wealth while the downside is minimal, well, to me, that's a bet I'll take. Look, you need to make up your mind for yourself. Listen to me, listen to others, do what you believe, but know one thing for sure. I'll be here for you through it all. It's a real honor that you've joined me today here in the basement. I hope you come back. Please give this video a thumbs up, and you can subscribe. That's always free. I'll have a new piece of content for you every single day, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.